you're not listening. You ever have somebody tell you in the middle of a conversation, especially when there's some type of disagreement going on, somebody says to you, you're not listening to me? Have you ever said that to somebody? You're not listening to me in the middle of a disagreement. I'm here to give you some news. Yes, they are listening to you. It's just that your communication sucks. And yes, I'm talking to you. Your communication sucks. If you ever feel like somebody's not listening to you, the problem is not them. The problem is not that they're shut off. The problem is not that they're stuck or that they are stuck in their ways or that they're too old or they're too young or they're too dumb or they're not educated enough or not smart enough to understand you. All of those are cop-out excuses that you use. The reason why someone appears to not be listening to you is because you are failing in communication. Let me explain what this means. Understand that communication is not just you saying whatever it is that you want to say. That's only one piece of communication. Another piece of communication is saying what needs to be said in order to reach the audience that you're trying to reach, your intended audience. We call this reading the room. You read the room to figure, okay, I'm talking to a group of engineers. I can talk at this level and they will understand me. But at the same time, you're trying to get a similar point across to a group of first graders. You can't give the exact same message because when you read the room, you understand they can't understand things the same way that these people understand things. So sometimes you are giving a message that may be very good. The problem is not good for your audience because you have failed to read the room. You're giving the wrong context to the right message. That's one reason why people don't listen to you. Another thing you got to understand about communication is that half of it is not what you say and give out, it's what you take in and observe. Half of communication is observation and listening and absorbing. And you can listen and absorb and take in non-verbal communication from other people. Remember, 85% of communication is non-verbal. So you need to read somebody else's energy, read their eyes, read their body language, read how they're responding to your words and adjust accordingly. A good communicator has this ability to do this in real time while they're talking to adjust their message to make sure that the audience is getting it. So if you ever feel like an audience of people or a person is not listening to you, then you need to make an adjustment in the moment because you're doing all this talking and it's not getting across. So what benefit do you get? You get to just say, well, they weren't listening to me. Again, if anybody's not listening to you, that's a failure by you in communication. The last thing you need to understand about saying that somebody's not listening to you or someone telling you that you are not listening to them is that the entire point of communication, ladies and gentlemen, is to get your point across to your intended audience. If your point does not land, i.e. you feel like they're not listening to you, you need to stop talking. You need to take a different approach. You need to find a different audience or you need to find a different message to give. Because if you're giving a message that's not being listened to, you are wasting your time and energy to your most important resources on something that clearly is not working. So how many times you got to do the same thing that's not working without realizing that the problem is not it, the problem is you. Power Presence Protocol.